Hey there everybody. I know I'm a little late this week. Terribly sorry about that. I came down very ill at the beginning of the week and pretty much haven't been doing much of anything this week aside from, sitting around with a froggy voice and, hoping either death was going to come quickly or that the doctors have prescribed the right drugs. Anyways, in the meantime, I have been working once again on isolations, and I think the last time I did this, talked about playing with isolations, I was starting to tinker around with the idea of moving around a set of isolations in tandem, whether it be same time, same direction, or same time, or rather same direction, split time, right? Which of course, there's opposite same time and opposite split time as well. But I've been building on this exercise, and the one that's really been motivating me this past week is to actually take each of what I would consider to be the major positions that you can do with isolations, that is, have them in wall plane, and have them like this. I'll go ahead and give you guys a little peek into what I'm doing here. One hand is on the outside, one hand is on the inside, and you bring both hands to the inside in the standard kind of isolation buzzsaw that we're used to seeing. Then you move it over to the other side. So now the opposite hand's on the inside, and the other hand's on the outside. And then you move it around to wall plank going the opposite direction. And then of course, reverse of that same idea. And reverse buzzsaw. Outside, all the way back to your original position. So needless to say, this has been kicking my ass, but it's been giving me a lot more freedom of movement with these isolations, and it's been helping me feel a lot more comfortable with them. And especially when you get into the split time kind of stuff, some really funky things start happening. I think one thing that would be fun to experiment with would be the idea of maybe an isolation that you move around. In other words, the isolation stays in the same spot. It's just you and your body that move around it, right? Not there yet, but hopefully sometime soon. There's a Vulcan Tech blog that shows a couple guys doing something very similar with both contact balls and also with hula hoop. So take a look at that for an idea of what I'm talking about, where the focus becomes on the action rather than on the performer. Ooh, let's see, I just lost it there. Yeah. But hopefully in the not too distant future. Next up, so for a very long time, I've been doing these kind of flowers right here, which, technically speaking, I think this is, poi are doing split time opposites, and the hands are as well. This isn't antispin, I don't think. But, as you might be able to tell, once again, as so often, I'm cheating by keeping both of my poi in an outside wall plane directly in front of me. And don't get me wrong, it looks cool and everything, but I would really love to get down the same idea, except actually keep it on internal planes, right? So when you're talking about that, you're talking about, basically switching back and forth between two inside planes, which is still a little sketchy. I don't quite have it down yet, but I'm not hitting myself anymore, or at least not much. So that's at least a good sign, right? And yeah, I need to do much more work synchronizing my arms as I do this, because unfortunately, even as I'm trying to go over, my right hand wants to lead and heading back to the right side. And that's not how you make that look cool. Cool side effect of this, however, is that as I've been teaching my left hand to do that wonderful popping motion that you do going from the inside, it's been helping out a lot with my buzz saws in my non-dominant direction. My buzzsaw flowers, that is. I've been careful for a very long time doing my buzz saws, excuse me, over from left to right, and of course doing the antispin variant where the poi are still going, over from left to right. And I haven't really played around with it much going the opposite way. So, thankfully, playing around with the anti-spin butterfly has been helping me get it down going the other way, which of course is still real sketchy, but then again, 2 months ago, so was the one going the opposite way. So, there's just more practice needed for that. And yeah, I think that's about it for this week. Yeah, with any luck, next week I will be less coffee, less sick.